Welcome to Gozroth Tutorials. I'm Gozroth, and today we're going to look at Lerp. And in a previous class, the question was brought up on how to pulse a color on a certain channel. And one of the suggestions was using Lerp on update. And this is an example, so we're lerping from 0 on the G to 1 on the G on update. Right, and just to show what I have a sound recorder that has our Lerp color script attached to it. Nothing's been recording on it. It's just been pulled out. We have an empty script with no variables created yet. And we have a white cube that we're going to be using to demonstrate the color change. The only thing that's different on this is it is set to animated. Since we are going to be manipulating its color, it does need to be animated. And we will need to create a couple variables. So we're going to go to our variables tab. We need a number variable for our G channel, so we're going to call it G. We need an object variable for our cube, call it cube. So when world is started, so under events, when world is started, we are going to set values set to, we're going to grab our G, and we're going to set it to 0. Then on update, so events, update events, we want to change the value of G. So we're going to values set to, grab and drag our G down, and then we're going to use Lerp. So we're going to go to operators, scroll down to basic math, and we're going to grab Lerp. Drop that into value. It's asking for 3 number variables, a from, a to, and an alpha. The from is your minimum number, and since RGB channel varies from 0 to 1. We're going to drop a 0 into from and a 1 into 2. And then our alpha is what it's going to return. And alpha takes a decimal value between 0 and 1. So we're going to drop in a 0.5 for now. So this will return the halfway point between 0 and 1, which is 0.5. And we're going to set that to G. So G will become 0.5. And then we're going to set the color of the cube to that new color. So we need to go to actions, under object, set object color. So we'll drag that in underneath our set. And instead of self, we want our cube. So we're going to go to variables and click and drag our cube over. We don't want this. We need to set a new color. So we will go to operators. We'll scroll down to color, new color from RGB. And since we're only worrying about the green channel, we can drop a 0 in the red and a 0 on the B. And we're going to drop in G for G. We need to attach our cube reference to our cube variable. And now we can see that our cube has changed color to 0 on the red, 0.5 on the G, and 0 on the blue. All right, so in order to get it to pulse up and down, instead of using 0.5, we're going to use the current value of G as our alpha. And since G starts off at 0, it's going to give us black because the 0 of 0 to 1 is 0, and we're setting it to 0. But we want to increase it every frame. So we're going to set G to itself plus a small value. So we'll go G plus G, instead of 0, we'll go 0.01. And now it's going to slowly increase all the way up. However, we do need it to go back down. So we could just say, set it to G minus that value. So we'll go over here, grab a subtraction, and G minus 001. However, we're increasing it and then subtracting it so it stays at 0. We need a way to tell it to change based on its value. So we're going to go over to our variables and we're going to create a Boolean. We're going to call it going up. Okay. And we will set going up to true on start. We're going to set that to true. And then if it's true, we will increase it. So events, control if, right above where we're setting them. If going up. So this is the same as saying if going up equals true, we're going to increase it. Else, if it's not true, we are going to decrease it. So this will go back to the way we had it, where it goes up to 1, but it doesn't go back down. So now we need to check to see if it's greater than or equal to 1. So we're going to grab another if. We're going to drop it right and nest it underneath going up. So if g is greater than or equal to 1, we will set is going up to false. If it's not, we'll increase it by 0.01. It went up to green, so if I restart it so you can see it, it goes up and it comes back down and then stays at black. So we need to do this same thing in reverse down here. So we're going to grab another if. But instead of greater than or equal to, we'll grab less than or equal to. So if g is less than or equal to 0, we will set it back to true. Else, we will set g to g minus 1. And if we were to stop and restart it, now we have this pulsing effect of the color. And that is how we lerp an individual channel from 0 to 1 and back down over and over again with on update. Now lerp can be used for many different things. You can use it to scale an object, rotate an object, to move an object. Basically anything that you want to know a particular point between two numbers, we can use lerp to determine that. If you want to see movement in action, I do have another video that uses lerp while moving, and I'll link that in the description below. And that is pretty much all I have on lerping for a color. Oh, and just to go over the script one more time, we do have a couple variables, a number variable for g, a object variable for the cube, a boolean for going up, and then when the world is started, we're setting g to 0, we're setting going up to true, and then on update, we are setting g to the lerp value of minimum 0, maximum 1 with an alpha of g. We are setting the cube's color to the new color of 0 on the red, the g value on g, and 0 on the blue. If going up is true, we're going to check to see if g is greater than or equal to 1. If it is, we're going to set going up to false. If it's not, we're going to increase g by 0.01. If going up is false, we're going to check if g is less than or equal to 0. If it is, we're going to set going up to true. If it's not, we're going to decrease g by 0.01. And that gives us our pulse effect. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this video, or if you have any suggestions for a future video, please let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video or if you learned something, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are notified of all my future videos. And yeah, have a good one.